Hey friends, Joe here at Reverb. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Soleman from Source Audio, a MIDI foot controller with insane capabilities. A lot to see here, so let's just dive right in. Let's check out the user interface here. We have 4 switches. We'll talk more about these in a minute, depending on which mode you're in. They do different things. The tap tempo switch is also listed as favorite switch, and that's really helpful in that whenever you find yourself maybe too deep in things and you want to just get back to your original clean sound, and a quick way to do that is to tap that favorite switch. It takes you back to your clean. We got mode switch, which selects from scene to set list to panel mode. Talk about all 3 of those modes in a minute. And then we have the edit button, which allows you to custom name your scenes or your presets. So you name them whatever you want, make it nice and cool for yourself there. Then these other 2 buttons go up or down when you're in panel mode. It switches from panel to panel. We have 2 MIDI outs and 1 MIDI in, expression control foot switch, and we have USB, which is necessary to create some of the stuff we're going to be talking about today via the Soleman editor on your computer. And you can expand functionality further by using these Neuro jacks here to connect other foot switches. Okay, so first let's talk about the setup and how to get this thing activated. So we have the Soleman unit here. We're going MIDI cable out of the Soleman into the Soundblocks hub. The hub basically acts as a communicator from the Soleman to the other pedals. The way this is set up right now is the 3 Source Audio pedals are hooked directly into the hub and are communicating on MIDI channel 1. The hub also has a second MIDI channel, so you can have a third-party pedal. If a pedal is MIDI capable, like the Strymon, for example, you set that pedal to MIDI channel 2. So on various pedals, you have a different way of doing that. On the Strymon, you hold down this value button, and then you select a different MIDI channel. The hub recognizes that. So basically, the hub speaks to the 3 pedals that are hooked directly into it on one channel, and then you have a separate MIDI channel going to a third party. So it helps the efficiency of the communication of the hub. So that's the way this is set up right now. Now, the Soleman has 3 different modes: scene mode, setlist mode, and panel mode. So the first mode is scene mode. And in this mode, you can save any scene to each different switch on the Soleman. And a scene is basically a preset. And it can be a single effect, it can be multi-effects. You dial in however many effects you want, and then you save that scene to one trigger on the Soleman. So it saves a lot of tap dancing on stage, and it's very helpful. So the way that you save a scene or a preset is you click on whichever pedals you want in this specific preset, and then you hit the scan button and hold it down on the hub. So for example, for my first scene, I want the overdrive. I turn the overdrive on, I set it to where I want it, and I hit scan right here. That light blinks a couple times, and then that's it. So we've gone from scene 0, which is just clean guitar, and then you hit next to scene 1, which is now the overdrive from the LA Lady. Back to scene 0, and next for scene 1. So when we're in scene mode, to click through the scenes that you've saved, you just hit the next button right here, which is the second switch. So for scene 1, I've saved the overdrive. For scene 2, I've saved a chorus sound. Okay, scene 3, Nemesis. So I've just kind of gone 1, 2, 3. But then also what's cool is you can combine effects together, multi-effect scenes. Any pedal that's on when you hold the scan button down on the hub, that's what saves. So whatever pedals are engaged, scan, and then you have all those pedals in on the same scene. So scene 4, I've got the Nemesis, delay, and the LA Lady going. So for scene 5 then, I've got delay and a chorus. And one last note about the scene mode is how simple it is to tweak. You know, let's say you've chosen a scene, scene 3, it's the delay, okay? And then then you kind of realize when you hit that, oh, maybe I do want a slower delay time. Just tweak that pedal however you want, and then hit scan, and it's as simple as that. So now your scene 3 is saved to whatever parameter you just changed on the pedal. Very simple. Okay, the next mode is Setlist Mode. Very simple and brilliant. What Setlist Mode does is takes all your scenes that you've saved and you can put them in any order. So this, I think, would be an immense tool for you players who have performances based around a lot of different sounds, a lot of tweaking in between songs, in the same song and such. You can just set all these different sounds up in your set list and just click through one at a time. So if you're in setlist mode, you're in the middle of your performance, you're going through and you get to that sound and maybe you realize, oh, I don't need that overdrive there. It's just as simple as kicking the physical pedal off. So you can disengage each pedal individually as well and the rest of the sound retains. Good to know as well. And on to the third mode, panel mode. Panel mode has massive capabilities, most notably MIDI mapping. So you can not only save your presets and your scenes and have all the tones dialed in the way you want them, but then you can additionally map certain parameters to certain switches on the Soleman. You have to do this via the Soleman editor on a computer. I have mapped a couple parameters that I'm going to show you here. So I've moved the Soleman to the ground so I can show you how some of this MIDI mapping that I've set up works. So I mapped an oscillation effect from the Nemesis delay to the second foot switch on the Soleman. So the way this works is you physically turn on the pedal, and then what's activated is the effect parameter on the second switch here. See how it sounds. So in panel mode, you can select up to 4 different parameters from different pedals that you can control via the Soleman. So I just showed an oscillation that I mapped to the second foot switch. Now maybe the first switch I want to have a boost for my overdrive. And on the third switch I want to bring more depth into the chorus. And the fourth switch I want to bring more decay on the reverb or something like that. So you have all these different capabilities to map specific parameters to the Soleman foot switch. Another option in panel mode, and to integrate the third-party pedal, in this case the Strymon Big Sky, basically you can assign, I've got assigned all 4 of these pedals to 1 through 4 on the Soleman. So you can combine any combination just like this, and when the light is on, the pedal goes on, as you can see. Okay, so let's say I want to start with some reverb. That's assigned to 4. Some delay as well. Now, to show how really user-friendly all this is, any parameter you can change on the fly as well. You're not exclusively limited to what you're doing with the Soleman. So you engage a couple of pedals, and then you can tweak those on the fly as well. Once again, reverb, kick on delay, and then I'll screw with it. Okay, one more thing to show today. We are going to step aside from the Soleman for a second and show you the app. This Neuro app, it is a big part of the whole Source Audio experience. So you download the app, plug in physically to one of the 1 series pedals, to the input 2 jack, and then you have extended parameters for what you're doing here. So I'm gonna go with the chorus. The controls on the pedal, but you also have extended parameters and a lot of cool stuff you can do. As well as, when you have the app, you have your own profile. You can dial in your own tones, and then you can save them to your profile so you can get back to them. but you can also share them with other friends who have the app. So other folks who have the Neuro app can check out your profile, and if you allow them to, they can use your sounds, which is kind of a cool idea, bringing people together. And I also have to say that the tech support team at Source Audio is like top notch, man. I mean, I was on the phone with these guys yesterday talking about all this stuff. They're super friendly, very knowledgeable, of course. They built this stuff. So if you want to try this stuff out and you just need somebody to talk to about it, give these guys a call because they're great fellas. So there you have it. That's the Soleman MIDI foot controller from Source Audio. Assign different effects, multi-effects, parameters, eliminate your tap dancing on stage, use it in your rig, use it in your DAW stations, Ableton, or whatever you may have. This thing's super awesome. Check them out. You can find them on reverb.com. Thanks so much for watching today.